Hello, great people. Welcome back to our channel. We are so excited to have you again. The issue of open grazing or ban on open grazing is still in focus up till now. The southern governors came up with this recommendation when they had a meeting at Delta State some months ago. Let me say like a month ago. But right now, Miyetti in the southeast are not willing to, go in line with it. And they are now throwing questions, which we are going to look at in a jiffy. They say they just can't obey the ban on open grazing. Get to see their reasons. And then when we see their reason, let's also listen to the analysis before we allow you to go to our comment section and interact. But before we give you full details of the news, we'd like to encourage you to please subscribe to our channel by clicking on the red subscribe button and also on the bell icon so that you can get notification anytime we publish our videos. The Southeast chairman of Miyetti Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria, Magban Gidado Sidiki, said that the ban on open grazing by the governors of southern Nigeria will remain ineffective until an alternative to open grazing is provided for the herders. Magban spoke as the former national chairman of the People Democratic Party (PDP), Dr. Okwesilizi Modu, called on all the state houses of assembly in southeast Nigeria to enact anti-grazing law in their respective state to stop open grazing of cattle in the zone. Gidado Sidiki said that the public hearing on constitutional review would have provided opportunity for all parties to make submissions for a law against open grazing, but that his group was not given the opportunity to make submissions. He also said that ranching has not been provided for them as an alternative in conducting their business. Sidiki said, "Our position is that we are not opposed to the ban on open grazing, but at least we need an alternative. You know, when somebody is doing business and you stop him from doing that business, he will be given an alternative on what to do. When you say that you have banned open grazing, you need to tell us how we should graze our cows, because what we know is grazing. If there is an alternative, there's no problem. And that is the only thing we are begging for. The governors should tell us, because when you want to enact a law on somebody, you have to call him so that you can tell him what he can do, and you and that person will put heads together before you can do that law. Now that they are doing a public hearing on constitutional review, they are collecting opinions. They should come up with it if they want to ban open grazing, so that all of us will put our heads together. If open grazing is bringing problem, let us find ways we can coexist." Reminded that ranching has been proposed as an option to open grazing, Sidiki queried, "Is there any provision for ranching? If there is provision for ranching, we can do ranching, but I don't think there is provision for ranching. Even in Benue State that said it has banned open grazing and will do ranching, I don't think there had been any ranching in Benue in all these years. So I don't know if there is provision, and that is our own problem. We were not given a chance to go for constitution review public hearing. We went there, but nobody gave us an audience to talk. We did not submit a petition." Dr. Modu, who was a former governor of Enugu State, said that it would be difficult to enforce what is not a law across the state in Southeast. He said that when the law is enacted, violators will be prosecuted and punished according to the provision of the law. The first thing is for our lawmakers to pass anti-grazing law in their respective House of Assembly. You cannot enforce something that is not a law. Having passed that, anybody who violates it run foul of the law and will be prosecuted and punished according to the provision of the law, he said. The statesman who described the security situation in Southeast as worrisome assured that the stakeholders are already putting measures in place to nip the ugly development in the bud. All right, let's look at what Nigerians have to say. This one here, one Chinedu said, "Southeast governors, you see what you have done to yourselves? An ordinary cow herder are now wrestling power and authority with you, our governors. This one here says, then provide alternative for the sales of alcohol in the north. Wow, this is interesting. I think let's talk about this, because if you have an idea of what this guy is saying, just go to a comment section. Let's talk about it. But let me just give you an opinion, based on what this guy said. They are talking about alternatives to the issue of grazing, open grazing, and which, if you look at it from the perspective of the law, it's not going to hold that much, considering the fact that the state governors have not expedited action in the area of promulgating at least a law that will regulate this whole issue of open grazing, because that's the only thing that can say this person have offended you, or this person has not offended. If there is no law, there is no sin. You understand? Though they have said this is what we want, I think that the next thing they should do is to send the bills down to the individual State House of Assembly. Let them go through it and speedily make it a reality, so that there can be punitive measures lined out. Now, the Northerners, the Fulanis are saying we don't like this. There need to be an alternative and all of that. If we look at Nigeria as a whole, you will realize that we seems not to really give into how the other person is feeling when we are treating the person bad. You understand? Now, look at what is going on in the southeast and what is going on in the north. In the northern part of Nigeria, there is this, their security network. They go after anyone who is selling alcohol. Now, some of these guys who are selling this particular stuff, these drinks, some of them have been around for years in the north, and that had been their business. Now, you are forcefully telling them to quit without giving them alternative. And down here in the south, we are telling you guys also to quit open grazing, and you are seeking for alternative. You now see that some people don't really like to be treated with the same gloves they use in treating other people. You understand what I'm saying? Now, because if we are talking about the issue of sitting down together, putting our minds together to find out alternative, it's an act of brotherhood. It's an act of people who are willing to coexist together. So it must not just be something that has to do with the Southeasterners alone, that's the governors of the Southeast. It must also be obtainable in the northern part of Nigeria. All of a sudden, Hishba just came up and started, going against anyone who is selling drinks and all of that, getting overly angry and, taking laws. For me, they are taking laws into their hand because it is not enshrined in the Nigerian constitution. It's not there. It's not in Nigerian constitution that people should not be selling alcohol. We've not seen it yet. But you guys are going on doing it without giving a hood how the person is going to survive, how the person is going to feel. Find an alternative for the person. And you know that this alternative they're talking about in the area of ranching and, ranching, we gave them an alternative because I feel that Southeasterners, or let me say the Southern governors, they are very reasonable. So they gave them an alternative of ranching. The question is, how is the ranching going to be done? Who is going to take care of the financial part? And they believe that the federal government must take care. I mean, this kind of a thing, I don't even know how to explain it, because how can you be doing more business that will put money into your pocket and you are expecting that it should be the federal government that will put the environment for you to, strive in that business. You want the government to be the one that will put everything down for you. How about farmers? How do they do it? They go to the bushes, they look for a farmland. Some of them lease those farmlands, and then they put in money. Some of them go as far as getting loans from the bank to sustain their business of farming. The same should be obtainable for them. But though right now the president is still very emphatic about the issue of grazing road, but we know very well that there are no grazing road in the south, and those in the south are not willing to go away from the south, because I know that if they are going back, that's talking about the Fulani herdsmen, if they go back to the northern part of Nigeria, the market will be overly competitive. You understand? It will be over. Some of them have been in the south enjoying themselves. But now if they send them back, they know that they can't stand those who are in the north. So that's why they are doing everything to ensure that they still settle here. But the big question is, who do you think will fund the alternative that you guys have already been told? You understand? Go to our comment section. Let's look at this side by side. In the southern part of Nigeria, in southern part, there is a ban on, open grazing for Fulani herders. In the northern part of Nigeria, there is a ban on this thing, alcohol, which I know that those who sell that kind of drink are mostly the Nibos and also Southerners. The big question is, Hishba carrying out this, is it enshrined in Nigerian constitution? Secondly, have they made alternatives for those who are selling these drinks? Let's look at it side by side and also come up with comments